Alrighty, so Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania came out yesterday, and it got some really negative reactions over on Rotten Tomatoes. It is the second MCU film to be rotten, which I don't get that at all, to be honest. I think there's several MCU movies that are significantly worse. Heck, there's a couple MCU movies that have come out in the past 2 years that have been significantly worse. But today, I, the film watcher, shall be giving all my review of the film. I saw it last night with lots of other people. So, yeah, here I am to talk about it. And just to sum up my thoughts on the film, I thought it was fun. It was a it was kind of goofy, but it was like entertainingly so. Like the movie kind of knew how absurd some of it was, and it had fun with it. That could be construed as a problem, and that would be completely valid because, this is the movie that introduces Kang, so if it's looking to introduce this very serious genocidal murderer villain guy, then it having like a super goofy tone for most of the rest of it maybe isn't the best thing, but I think the absurdity of some things in the movie that we will get to, and kind of the rage and anger of Kang, I think was mostly an okay balance. Like, I don't know, outside of a couple things, a couple characters that we will get to, I don't know, I didn't see any like major problems, really. There are problems with a lot of other parts of the movie, but we will get to those also. So the thing that was like, even the people who despise this movie, which I'm not sure if that's anybody, but people who don't like the film, um, they still like Kang. I also liked Kang. He was a really, really cool villain. Was this the wrong movie to introduce him in? Given the rest of the goofy tone, I don't know, but who cares? He was really cool. They go into his backstory and kind of what he wants to do and the things he plans to do, and yeah, it's intense. Like there's some high stakes in this movie, and whenever you're around this guy, it's like, oh yeah, this guy's dangerous. Like, because you know that he's not gonna back down from any of the stuff he's promising to do, and I thought he was a very cool villain. For the first like 2/3 of the movie, I was like, well, yeah, he's cool, but I don't know if he's like super impressive. And then he started just being completely genocidal and murdering, and I was like, okay, yeah, yeah. So I think this movie did a very good job of establishing him as like this large, significant threat, especially as you go further along in the movie. And Jonathan Majors, he just knocks it out of the park, demonstrating his impeccable range as an actor. Where if you watch Loki and you see him in that as this variant of Kang, he is 100% totally different from the version of Kang in this movie. Uh, he Who Remains from Loki was kind of this goofy, jovial sort of fella who is dangerous, sure, but not really in the way that this Kang is. This Kang is an absolute ruthless monster, and I think Jonathan Majors pulls that off and adds some like depth to him with his performance, and he's incredible in this movie, man. Like the facial expressions that he makes here are like, he does an excellent job in this movie. And once again, Paul Rudd. I always love seeing Paul Rudd as this character. I think it's a lot of fun, and the movie it's pretty funny. Like, there some of the some of the quips don't entirely work, but it as an Ant-Man film, I still found it to be pretty funny. I don't know why we didn't at least get like some cameo from Luis and the other two guys. Like, what happened to them? Are they just gone now? They were like huge parts of the first two movies. I don't get it. Yeah, and like I think there was this pretty nice dynamic between Scott and Cassie, who she's a she's a decent character, I guess. I don't know. I didn't find her terribly interesting, but I mean, she was kind of like a lead of the movie. I think they did some pretty nice stuff with her. I liked her dynamic with Scott. I feel like they could have gone into a little bit more of like, I don't know, like he was gone for 5 years and how that had an effect on her. But the only way they do that is, oh, in the 5 years he was gone, she built some cool tech. Okay, she was like, how old was she in like the Ant-Man and the Wasp? She would have been like, I don't know, 9, 10 maybe. So how old is she supposed to be now? Like 17, 18? Okay. Yeah. So really the only way they show her coping with Scott being gone is she built a bunch of cool tech. I don't know if I buy that totally, but I don't know. And it's like seriously cool technology that transports them to the quantum realm. Honestly, if you've seen like the first trailer where they're talking about what she did with like the signal to the quantum realm, that's pretty much the opening of the movie. And I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. Another thing I thought was weird about Cassie, she was like weirdly accusatory about Scott for not being there for 5 years. I mean, sure, but he was stuck in the quantum realm. There was, and like the people who were supposed to get him out died. So I don't know exactly what he was supposed to do about that, and I just thought that was a bit strange and off-putting. Otherwise, I thought she was a solid character. This like new version of her. Mm. One thing that I did not like here, the setup for the movie is dumb. I like again with Cassie, she's able to just build this technology with the quantum realm that hasn't really like not much has been done with the quantum realm before, and she's just kind of able to figure all this stuff out very quickly. I thought that was a little bit weird. And then like also the way they do it, it is really fast. It's like maybe I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes into the movie, and it feels rushed. Like they do this whole opening thing with Scott and then another thing with Cassie, and then they're all talking, and then it's the scene in the trailer with the quantum realm device thing. And it's like, okay, this is happening really quickly. I don't know what could have been there to fill that time up, but I don't know. And then like this movie made me realize Janet is a terribly written character. I like Michelle Pfeiffer. She's good. She's good in pretty much everything I've seen her in. But no, like Janet in Ant-Man and the Wasp, I honestly found that storyline a little bit weak because they hadn't done a lot of groundwork with Wasp as a character. We don't know anything about Janet. Really, the only thing like there's a connection there clearly, but I don't know. I just didn't find it to be a super interesting main plot line. I don't know. Maybe it was the way it was written. But Janet in this movie, like, she like doesn't tell them anything about like anything she experiences in the quantum realm. And with what we learn in this movie, I feel like that was some important information, like a genocidal conqueror that's stuck in a tiny micro universe that could pop out at any time and just, wreak havoc on everyone. I feel like that's a pretty important piece of information not to reveal. And then she only starts to reveal that information as they're getting sucked into the quantum realm. And then when Hank and Cassie are like, well, what's going on? She's like, how could you not tell me that you were experimenting with the quantum realm? Like, what? Like, she hid it, like, she, not only that, but she, like, left a huge group of people inside the quantum realm. Like, sh- are you kidding me? This makes no sense to me. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I don't like her. Um, what's other stuff I liked about the movie? The climax was very cool. At that point, I don't know, the first, like, maybe third of the movie, I wasn't really into. I just thought it was kind of lame. The second, third was, it was solid. It was fine. There was some cool, like, trippy stuff in there, but a lot of the action in that second, in the, like, the second act of this movie is not good. Like, the camera was just moving all over the place. It was like that, except you're watching people run across, like, these huge landscapes. There's like action going on everywhere, and it's like, what? Okay, slow down. Like, I'm just watching people run. Why is the camera shaking so much? This is on a green screen. You've got to be kidding me. So that was, like, totally disorienting to me, and I was a bit skeptical going into the climax. But honestly, the climax was really cool. You get to see the full might of Kang's ability, whereas before it's kind of just he's threatening people and it's like, okay, he's probably telling the truth about how he's gonna kill a lot of people, but I didn't really see him do anything at that point. Here, we get to see him do a lot, and it's awesome. And I'm not gonna go into, like, details, but there's something involving a character bringing something to a location, and it was awesome. If you've seen the movie, you may very well know what I'm talking about. And another thing about the film, like, there was this group of revolutionaries who were trying to go up against Kang, and these were like the army of sorts that kind of fought against him. They were cool, and there was some fun action there. Um, yeah, I liked the climax, and once it get, like, there was a point when I thought it was going to be over, and then it wasn't. And sometimes when that happens, it's like, okay, is this going to be done soon? But this particular climax, I was fine with it going on because, like, you get some really cool scenes in there. Um, and yeah, the movie has a bit of an open ending where it's like, okay, clearly they're doing more with Kang. Like, he's probably not gone for good. Like, there's a movie called Avengers: The Kang Dynasty coming out in, like, 2 years. 2 years. Anyway, but yeah, I really liked the climax, and I think I've heard a lot of people complaining about the CG. I didn't really see much of an issue with it. Some of it was, eh. We will get to that. Some of the CG is kind of iffy, but some of it I actually thought was really cool. Some of the creatures in the quantum realm looked very neat. There was a sequence with Ant-Man in, like, this abstract location that was in some of the trailers where he's, like, seeing a giant version of himself get stripped apart, Mr. Fantastic style from Multiverse of Madness. That was cool. So yeah, there's the action was a bit of a mixed bag because some of it was really bad and some of it was really cool, like the entire climax. A couple more problems here. Wasp gets nothing to do in this movie. It should not be called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It should be called, like, Ant-Man Quantumania. I don't think so. It feels weird to just take away the Wasp like that, but it would make sense. She is barely a lead in this movie. She's more of a support. Heck, Cassie's more of a lead in this movie. Ant-Man and Daughter, Quantumania. I don't know. If they gave Cassie a superhero name, just plug that in. But anyway, like, I don't know. I was never that compelled by the Wasp. I liked her in the first Ant-Man movie. I think she was a fun, like, back and forth person for Scott Lang to back and forth with. That doesn't make sense, but yeah, she was fun. I liked her. She was a badass. She had some good banter with Scott. And I liked, like, her connection with her father, where she was like, I want to be doing more. And it was like, oh, the end of that film teased, like, oh, she's gonna become the Wasp. This is awesome. And when she did become the Wasp, like, she was cool. Again, I didn't find her to be that compelling of a character, but I mean, she was cool. She got like she was the a lead in that film, and I really enjoyed her. Um, Still a little stiff, not a perfectly written character by any means. Here, she gets like very little. We get some exposition about her from Scott. We learned that they're a thing now, which honestly in this movie I had no problems with. I didn't really like that. Like it felt like they forced the romance in the first two, but here I didn't really mind. The I don't know. She's really just there. Like if she weren't like a title character of this movie, I wouldn't. This wouldn't be as big of a problem for me. But she gets so little to do, and it's like okay, well, like could they have done like a little bit more? Like she's Janet gets more to do. Hank Pym, everyone gets more to do in this movie than she does. Actually, Bill Murray doesn't. He's in like one scene. He was pretty good, but anyway, I don't know. Wasp just felt like they like cut her character short a little bit. They gave her the shorts. She drew the short straw, and this is an Ant-Man movie. How did I? Never mind. So, and then the one other problem slash biggest compliment I can give this movie, like the Wasp thing. I'm just putting that to the side for a second. That was an issue. One thing that I both really enjoyed and did not like at all about this movie was MODOK. I was kind of interested to see how exactly they were going to do MODOK because he's a weird character. One of the weirdest Marvel characters of all time, probably, in my opinion at least. And like when I heard he was going to be in the movie, I was like, okay, interesting. Where are you going with this? I was like, maybe they'll get Patton Oswalt. Maybe they'll get some like, I don't know, some comedic actor. What if Bill Murray played MODOK? I don't know. Who knows? Then I saw the trailer. I saw with MODOK in it. I saw him in the background, and I was like, "Whoa, that's MODOK." And I didn't get like a very good picture of him, like just from the couple shots of him in the trailer. And then I looked up the movie on Wikipedia, and I was like, Corey Stoll from the first Ant-Man movie. What? Why? Why would you bring back one of the most boring, generic antagonists that the MCU has ever had? I don't mind Corey Stoll. I think he's a perfectly fine actor, but like his character in the first, it was literally just Obadiah Stane from Iron Man. He's such a generic dude, and he's like he gets so goofy by the end. I get his name is Yellow Jacket, and he's dressed like he is. But like when he screams, "I'm gonna disintegrate you," it's just like, okay, dude, chill. For real. But I mean, I guess it's not the worst journey for a character to have, but again, it was just Iron Man all over again. Except it was like younger Obadiah Stane with Howard Stark. Okay. Why are you bringing back this character again? But I was very intrigued to see what exactly they were going to do with him. The movie did not disappoint, by which I mean it was just about as dumb and lazy of a bringing back of a character as I expected. The way they do the backstory is hilarious because it's done so fast. It's like a 5-second clip where he gets shrunk and then you see him in the quantum realm and it's just like, oh, he's in the MODOK body form now. How did that happen? What? And then the face. The face. I'm embarrassed for Marvel, honestly, but you know what? Okay. CGI aside, I don't think the CGI is that bad. This character was never going to look right in live action unless they got someone like, I don't know, with like a weirdly wide set face. Like Danny DeVito. He should have been MODOK. Anyway, okay. But the main problem I had with MODOK was like, Corey Stoll is like the most boring actor you could have chosen for MODOK. He does nothing different with his voice. His face expressions are totally flat and regular looking. They're slightly exaggerated, I guess, but like he's so dull. Like his performance is so one note and boring. Like I get that MODOK is like a one note character that shouldn't be like that doesn't need to be super well written, but like do something with the guy, or at the very least make MODOK like a new character. You don't need to bring back an existing one that sucked. Like get someone who's at least funny, like Patton Oswalt or Danny DeVito or Bill Murray. I could have pictured anybody else in this role, and I could have pictured Chris Hemsworth. That's Chris Evans. Chris Hemsworth doing a better job. What were they doing? On top of that, Corey Stoll has like a thin face. It's like, I don't know, thin exactly. It's not. He doesn't have like a wide set face. So they try to just expand it like this, and it looks ridiculous. If you have seen images of MODOK, it looks absurd. With that said, it was hilarious. It was so entertaining. Man, like, I don't know. I don't like the decision to bring back Darren Cross because he was lame, but he was so funny. Not only is the design so dumb, as I said, it was not gonna work in live action. Probably no matter who you cast in this role. But it's so weird. It's distorted, it looks odd, but it's so funny. I'm not saying all like the quips and stuff they did with him is funny, but it was entertaining. On top of that, like, he feels totally out of place in that. He does not belong in this movie. Like the movie that introduces Kang, freaking Kang, to the MCU, also introduces, big head man with tiny little limbs. Like, he looks like an upside down potato. This is the movie you choose to introduce this guy and your main villain for the next, like, saga of the MCU? I don't get that decision. But you know what? I'm not going to complain anymore because I was deeply entertained by MODOK. I think this movie knows how kind of goofy it is, and to a fault at certain points, but I had fun with it. I don't think it's nearly as bad as many people have been saying it is. I would go positive if I were a Rotten Tomatoes certified critic, which I am not. Absolutely not. Yeah, I'd go positive on this movie. I don't know. I had fun. Was it perfect? No. No, it certainly was not. But I had a very good time watching it. MODOK is the coolest thing ever. Spider-Man No Way Home, what's that? Move over. MODOK is the greatest thing ever. Not really, he was kind of dumb. He didn't fit in this movie, but he was entertaining. So, yeah. And he looked like Mr. Electric from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I'd go probably like a B- on this movie or something. It was good. If you like the MCU, if you're interested to see where it's going, absolutely check this one out. If you just want to see a goofy, skinny-faced dude expanded to, like, bigger than my camera allows. But, it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks for watching, and keep calm and watch on.